It is officially here. The 1111 portal is today. It is powerful. It is a window of opportunity that is here for us. And I wanted to share some insight about this 1111 portal with you guys so that you can really maximize the energy, use it to your benefit, and really allow yourself to embrace what it has to offer. And it's very interesting because already all week there's been a theme that has been playing out that I've noticed with clients. And this theme very, very much has to do with authenticity and about being our real, true selves. And so this 1111 portal, which is actually open for 2 days prior to the actual day of the 11th. So on the 9th and 10th, the portal is already open, and then it remains open for a total of 5 days, 2 more days after the 11th. So the 12th and 13th, the energy continues to play out. So basically, you have like a 5-day window, excuse me, where you have an opportunity to really hear the messages that this portal has to offer and to bring in the wisdom that you are already connected to but haven't become fully aware of. So what I mean by that is there's sort of inner truths within us that is coming to the surface at this time that is being revealed very obviously to us. And like I said, the people that I've worked with this week, it has become so evident that there isn't any more room or any more space energetically to not be authentic, to not be yourself, to not really go for the things that you want to go for. And I say this because as we're feeling sort of this squeeze here at the end of this year and with the last 2 months of the year, anybody actually that has a birthday right now or has a birthday, an upcoming birthday within the next 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, whatever, 6 weeks, are basically in their birthday window at this time. You are in your solar return window. Solar return is when the sun goes back to the same month it was when you were born. That's a solar return year. So for each individual, your solar return year is always from the day of your birthday to the following year to the day of your birthday. So that's one solar year. And I'm in my 6-week window at the moment. The 6 weeks leading up to your birthday is usually a window where a lot of shit happens. So a lot of stuff goes down within those 6 weeks. And usually the stuff that goes down are all having to do with what lessons you were meant to learn to integrate throughout that previous solar cycle, throughout the previous year, and what did you integrate or what did you not integrate? What did you accomplish? What did you not accomplish during that, like I said, 6-week window? All of this is going to come up of what you got done during your last solar cycle. So at this time, this 1111 portal may intensify that for those that are in that birthday window, that 6-week window before your birthday. Those people are getting a little bit of an extra push, an extra reality check, if you will, about the things that need shifting and changing for the better in their life. Because this 1111 portal has to do with what isn't working has to fall away. And it must. Like, it's just going to. Like I said, if you are not going to do it willingly, then the universe is going to do it for you. So it's like something is going to leave your life and will fall out of your life because there's just no energy being directed in that area, right? So everything is energy, and what we put out is what constantly attracts and creates. And the 1111 portal is such a manifestation portal. It is all about creating. It's all about using that God-given power that we each have within us to put forth an energy that is in alignment with us and to take action on certain things that are in alignment with us and that feel in alignment with us. So because 1111 is 11, the number 11 itself is a master number. It is also a gateway number, right? It represents a gateway. So 11 is a master gateway to higher levels of consciousness. you have an opportunity to move through the gateway, to move up the gateway. And the way that you move up the gateway is by tuning into yourself, tuning into your own feelings, your own truth, because authenticity is at the forefront of this 1111 portal. So what we are being asked collectively and individually is to step up into our authenticity more and more and more. And this energy will intensify and will continue getting louder and louder and louder until you hear it, until you are willing to follow through and actually really wholeheartedly be authentic. And I want to share a brief story here about authenticity. I had a client earlier this week who was going through a really huge internal crisis, if you will. I want to say like midlife crisis, I suppose, because their age, they were sort of middle-aged, but more than anything, it was an identity crisis. This individual was having a really hard time recognizing that what they want and what they desire and what they really truly want to align with is not what they're acting out at the moment. It's not what they're doing. So there's a misalignment within this individual, and he was really struggling with making a choice that he needed to make for himself. And until we really connected through conversation to his heart, to his essence, his soul, and what his soul actually desires, as we connected to that, he really got a deeper insight into what he really truly wants. And it wasn't what my ego expected to hear or was wanting to hear, I guess, but nonetheless, it was the truth. And so the channeling that came through for him was about him really needing to just honor his truth, whether it was something I agreed with or didn't agree with, whether it was something he agreed with or didn't, or his family or extended family or whatever, that none of that mattered. It was just about him choosing authenticity and how incredibly important that was. And that's the message that came through loud and clear in this session with this individual, which is going to result in a separation from his current person. And, it's not what I expected to hear. I mean, I know both of these people and they're lovely people. But again, it was just a reminder for me as a coach that, hey, it's not what our ego desires. It's what God desires. And God always knows what's best for us and knows what the truth is for us, what our hearts actually really truly want, because God sees into our heart and also sees into our head, right? And this 1111 portal is a unification of that. It's about actually moving through the portal, getting out of the head and into the heart. And that's exactly what this gentleman had to do. This person had to do that. I helped him move from his head into his heart, and it was intense. It was really intense. It was a very challenging moment, but a very authentic, very truthful moment at the same time. When you come to a realization that you can't be with a person and you can't be with them because that's just not where your heart is pulling you, it can be very hard to deal with that because, everyone around him and his head was constantly telling him that he should be with this person and that he needs to fix it and he needs to make it right and all this stuff. But in his heart, that's not what he actually truly desired. So it was just a huge lesson in authenticity and how incredibly important that is. And you just have to honor it. You got to be willing to honor it, because if you don't, no one else is going to honor it for you, because nobody else knows what's truly in your heart, right? And this 1111 portal is reminding us to, can you choose you for a change? Can you choose what your heart actually wants? And go against your head, go against your better judgment, because it's not always a better judgment, right? And we shouldn't be deciding anything really from our minds. We should always be deciding with our hearts and with our feelings. So there's also a message, a reminder here to be tuned in and connected to your feelings, to not hide or not run from them, and to not numb out and not push away those uncomfortable feelings that you don't want to sit with. So that in itself can be very challenging for some people, right? Because it's so much easier just to have that glass of wine or to smoke that joint or whatever and just to take yourself somewhere else instead of really just sitting and honoring your feelings and what you're feeling in any given moment. And right now, you have an opportunity, this weekend, you have an opportunity to tune in to your feelings and really be aware of the realness of it. And then not being afraid to communicate that if you have to communicate that, right? It was something that I had to tell this gentleman. It was just, the message was coming in loud and clear. Like, he had to be honest and he had to obviously let his person know how he was truly feeling about their connection and not wanting to work on it at this time. And that's, I felt for him. I can completely see how that would be a very difficult thing to do, because you're going to hurt somebody and you don't intend to, you don't want to hurt somebody, but you just, are you going to continue hurting yourself by not being honest with them, right? And by not, expressing truthfully what it is that you want, right? So it's about a willingness to do the uncomfortable and have that conversation and say what you need to say and not particularly concern yourself with how that person is going to feel about it. It's not something you can control or change. So if you feel like there is someone in your life or something in your life at this time that is not serving your highest best, that is not what you truly want, it's not what you're really desiring in your life, then this would be a very good weekend to tune into that, really confirm that feeling within yourself so that you are 100% certain it's what you truly want, and then tell that person, have the conversation. So in addition to it being the 11th day of the 11th month, we are also actually, if you add up the complete date for today, then it's actually 3 11s, because November is the 11th month, we're on the 11th day, and then 2023 adds up to a 7. But when you add up 2023 and then the 11 and the 11, then all of those numbers combined also actually add up to an 11, meaning that today's energy is like, can't even be any more 11 than it is. It just fully resonates with the number 11. And so it's a very important time to, like I said, and a very opportunistic time to really tune in to yourself and honor yourself and make some big changes. We're at the end of the year. Like, the whole making up and breaking up cycle is going to be continuing in relationships and in partnerships. I see it. I talk to people all the time, and I can see it playing out, in other people's connections. So that's a continuous theme, and it's going to continue into 2024. I've been saying for years that authenticity is the secret formula to living a true and happy and honest, authentic life. So we all are being pushed to move into this energy. And, you can move into this energy at your own pace, right? But at the same time, when we have energy portals such as today, when we have, 5-day windows like this, where it gives you this massive boost to be able to do that more confidently and more self-assured, then we should take those opportunities, right? And really use this time to tune in, like I said, get very, very clear on our desires, and then move forward with action, right? And the action moving forward part might be next week. It might be 2 weeks from now. But right now, it's about solidifying and knowing for sure what kind of action you want to take and making a stance, making a decision about that. So, like I said, there is free will here at play. So we all get to choose for ourselves whether we want to participate in making these changes in our lives or not. That's always up to us. Free will means that you get to choose whether you are going to make a change in your life or not. Whether you're going to stick with other people's stories and their plans and desires for you, or if you're going to just go out and do your own thing and be willing to step on toes and not walk on eggshells anymore and not pretend and just do you, whether people approve of it or not. We're also presented with a choice to separate ourselves from, things that are really not working, things that are not for our highest benefit at this time. So we all get to decide to either leave something behind or keep it in our lives, and knowing that if you choose to keep something in your life, it's going to deliver the same results that you have already experienced.